What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Hopefully everyone is doing well and having a great day so far. It is time now for the Friday weather update for Friday, November 8th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. You just clicked on to today's weather update, where we will talk about the weather for the United States, an update on the wildfires, talking about tropical systems as well. That's right, Rainfall is still a thing. And of course, we're going to talk about severe weather and the long range forecast. This is the type of stuff we do here every day. Want to stay informed on that, and who knows, sometimes we do talk about weather headlines from other parts of the world. Just subscribe down below if you want to stay informed, or if you're new here, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's try for 25 like button hits today. Hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, and of course leave all those wonderful comments down below. Alright, starting off in New Jersey with the wildfires, it's been really dry in the northeast states, which means anytime we get a windy day, such as today, wildfires become a thing. And this actually started last night. There was one fire last night in South Jersey, right on the Camden County, Burlington County border, and that did cause some evacuations last night as it threatened structures. There's another wildfire ongoing up in North Jersey, and with this fire, it's up near the Palisades Interstate Parkway in Bergen County. 39 acres have burned, and it is 30% contained as of the time of this news story, and as of the time of my recording here. And this news story was updated at 3:55 in the afternoon. So, yes, it is still ongoing, and with the wind, that's not helping things at all. Also, we want to update on this. In California, near Los Angeles, there continues to be a wildfire with 20,000 acres burned in Ventura County. So far, thousands have had to evacuate, and it has destroyed more than 100 structures with containment. That's just a mere 7%. Yeah, that's not good. And this fire continues to be ongoing, and this was updated earlier today. Just take a look at this picture here. This is just truly devastating. What is going on in California, what is going on everywhere that is dealing with wildfires. And at least for the Northeast, there may be some relief coming. I'll show you that towards the second half of this video. Alright, taking a look at what's left of today's satellite picture, you can see darkness is coming. It's 4:51 in the afternoon. The sun is setting earlier. There's Rainfall down there in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's our upper level system. Here's our big storm system that is providing a ton of snow for the mountains of New Mexico and Colorado, and you can see here there is also some higher cloud tops in Texas. What does that mean? Thunderstorms. And take a look. You can see it close. If you look hard enough, you can see in the Pacific Northwest there is another storm system getting ready to come on shore for you. Taking a look at the radar picture, we do see there are some thunderstorms once again across portions of Texas. Still some heavy precipitation in Kansas in the form of rain. Denver and Colorado, some mountain snows for your area. Lower elevations are seeing rain, and even Nebraska is seeing some rainfall today. The rest of the country, at least in the east, it's pretty quiet. There is a storm system well to the northeast of New England, and there are still some showers wrapping around that. A secondary front is coming through with that, and that is going to provide a temporary cool down, which is going to make it feel more like fall. Things will be cooler over the weekends. We won't be talking about 70s in places like New York City or Philadelphia, at least not on Saturday or Sunday. Taking a look in the Pacific Northwest, you can see the early stages of the next system that's going to come on shore over the weekend. You can see it is starting to show up now on radar. And up in Alaska, we do just have this system which is impacting southern Alaska at this time. Alrighty, moving on to the National Hazards Map. Let's refresh this because it's constantly changing throughout the day. And we can see red flag warnings up from Maryland, straight on up through New York City, through all of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and even up to Boston, Massachusetts. The wildfire risk is real. I showed it to you at the beginning. It's already unfolding in New Jersey. Haven't heard any reports from Pennsylvania or Connecticut, but hey, it could still happen. Please, if you're smoking a cigarette, don't toss it out the window. Try and put it out some other way, because that's all it takes when it's windy and dry to get something going. Tornado watch is up for portions of Texas at this time. There is still blizzard warnings in northeast portions of New Mexico. And we do see here that on the West Coast, things are relatively quiet at this time, but we do note that when we come down here to California, there is a frost advisory up for portions of northwest of Los Angeles, and there is also air quality alerts because of that ongoing wildfire. Taking a look at what's going on with Rafael, take a look at this, and let's refresh, because there may be a new update in. Nope, it's still at 100 mile per hour winds, which means it is still a Category 2 hurricane at this time. Pressure is down to 967 millibars, and it is moving west at 9 miles per hour. Now for the track. That has changed a little bit. Look at this. It is expected to continue west. It will continue to be a hurricane, probably until at least maybe tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow. It is definitely going to weaken into a tropical storm. But look what happens. It is going to stall and dance a little bit before it is then expected to go south. But even at that, there is still this cone of uncertainty. It is going to stall. It is going to weaken. It's just a question of where it is going to go. Taking a look at satellite picture, you can see here it's starting to become a little less organized. There's still a good amount of convection with this, but you can also see on the southern side, yeah, that is definitely some drier air moving into it. It's going to slowly wind down, slowly weaken over time, and tomorrow it is expected to go down to a tropical storm. First off, looking at the tracks, you can see here, it's clearly going to stall. And then eventually it is going to make its way to the south. Whether or not it still exists at that point remains to be seen. Taking a look at intensity, and here's the intensity guidance right here. Almost all intensity guidance shows it is going to drop below a hurricane within the next 24 to 36 hours. There are just a couple here that say, hey, it'll still stay a Category 1. I'm not really agreeing with that. Again, you're taking a look at the satellite picture. You can see over the last hour, it is starting to get a little more ragged looking on the south side. There is still convection on the north side, and that could keep going, but overall, it should slowly weaken. All right, taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center now. There is a slight risk for today of severe weather. This is ongoing right now, as there is already a tornado watch out across portions of central California. And you can see here that there is also 5% tornado probabilities, 50% chance of damaging wind, and there are hail probabilities as well. So if you are in the Dallas area, you do want to pay close attention to this because you are within this area. Austin, San Antonio, you are also included in this area as well. So keep an eye on this. There is the threat of severe storms this evening, and take any tornado warning serious. Moving on to day 2, you can see not much expected tomorrow. We could see a marginal risk get added in portions of Louisiana, but there is something else that you have in Louisiana right now. Let's show you that. And that is the threat for heavy rainfall. Yes, there could be some very heavy rainfall across portions of Louisiana tomorrow. You have this system that is still over the Four Corners region that's going to slowly advance northeast, and the front ahead of it may get a little bit of moisture working in from Rafael. So the combination of moisture trying to push up against the front creates kind of a convergence zone. So there could be very heavy rainfall tomorrow across portions of Louisiana. The northwest, it is going to be very active over the next 7 days. That's why your precipitation amounts are so high. There could be localized 5 to 10 inches of rainfall. And here's something I have not showed you in a very long time. Light blues, even purples showing up in the northeast. Yes, finally, multiple chances for rainfall. Maybe even some that could be decent rainfalls. The first event's going to be lighter. The second event, well, that could be a heavier rainfall event. And you're seeing here over the next 7 days, you're seeing anywhere from an inch to even localized 1.5 inch rainfall amounts over the next 7 days across much of the Northeast. And it even goes back into the Ohio Valley and West Virginia, where you need rain as well. So I'm really happy to be able to report this. Southern California, though, it's going to remain dry for you, and that's not good for the wildfire situation. All right, getting back to the flooding threats, and you can see here, there's a slight risk of excessive rainfall for California and portions of Oklahoma, but check this out. This is new. There is now a day 2 moderate risk of excessive rainfall across portions of Louisiana for tomorrow because of that convergence. You got the front, you have some moisture trying to come in from the Gulf, in association with Rafael. The two put together, high moisture values in the atmosphere, which is called PWAT values, precipitable water. It's just going to support that there could be some training segments with very heavy rainfall in short periods of time. Rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour could be possible. Surrounding that, there is a slight risk tomorrow, so we do have to concern ourselves with the threat of flooding for tomorrow. Then there's a marginal risk on Sunday from Louisiana up into Pennsylvania. And take a look at that. There is a marginal risk in the Pacific Northwest on Sunday as well. All right, here was the drought update from yesterday. I just showed you the precipitation expected in the Northeast. You can clearly see it here. From the Northeast back to the Ohio Valley. That will be welcomed rainfall if it does pan out correctly. I am leaning towards a more active pattern setting up. And you can see there's a lot of other places around the country that need rainfall. The Rocky Mountains, you need it as well. Texas. So this is welcome rainfall for Texas. Welcome to rainfall tomorrow for Louisiana, although it may be too much too quickly. And Colorado and New Mexico, precipitation you just saw, that's relief as well. Any precipitation across Kentucky and across the Great Lakes that occurs, all welcome to rainfall. I mean, we need a more active pattern because, I'll be honest, I think I said this yesterday, I don't ever recall the map showing this much drought for so many areas in the United States. All right, let's take a look at some models, shall we? Starting off with the European, you can see down here, here's Rainfall. We're not terribly concerned about that, but what we are concerned about tomorrow is this. Here's Rainfall itself, and here's a little bit of a moisture fetch from the Gulf that gets worked into that front. And watch what happens. You do see some trainee segments get going across portions of Louisiana, and then you just have this general area of moisture ahead of it. Not terribly concerned about that. You also see tomorrow, as we head into the afternoon, the first bits of rain start to come into Seattle, and maybe even Oregon later tomorrow night, and that is just going to be in the form of showers. And as I advance this even further, you can see training segments do continue into the first half of Sunday on the European model, and yes, some welcome rain comes into the Ohio Valley, and watch as I advance this. You can see some of that does come into the Northeast, and this is the perfect type of rain that we need. We do not need a heavy rainfall event at first. What we need is a light to moderate rainfall to moisten up the ground. Then we can get a steadier soaking rain. So this is going to be really beneficial, and you can see we're coming in Sunday night. Take a look at what is going on Sunday night on the West Coast. Yes, much heavier rainfall starts to come into Seattle. It starts coming into Portland, Oregon. And some of that, yes, does make its way almost to Central California. And by the time it gets to Southern California, just some showers, nothing major. But hey, it is some welcome relief for you. In the Northeast at this point, yet again, another brief trough. And you can see here that wind does come through. And it's not going to last that long, but it could not be good for the wildfire threat. Luckily, you'll be coming off of a fresh round of rainfall, so the ground should be at least a little bit more moist. And check this out as I advance this. You can see, we do finally get another round of precipitation later in the week, but the European, not all that impressive with it. Other modeling is more impressive, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. And then as we head into the longer range on the European, look at this. Yet another threat of rainfall for the Northeast, and another system that is developing across portions of the Mid-South. So the pattern overall is going to get much more active. Let's take a look at what the Canadian model showed this afternoon. And we can see the Canadian does show that rainfall on Monday. Here's the system in the Northwest. And you can see there's going to be multiple systems that come through the Northwest. And some of those pieces of energy will break off. And as we head into next Thursday, look at this once again. There's that next system, which is a little bit more impressive on the Canadian than what you saw on the European. But remember yesterday, modeling was trying to show an area of low pressure. Watch what happens. That does get pushed east. And at the end of the Canadian, another ridge comes into play. But look at this. A boundary sets up. And with that boundary comes more chances for precipitation. Now, mind you, this is the end of the Canadian. But I am really intrigued that the pattern in the Northeast is finally going to change to where maybe about every 3 to 5 days we could be looking at chances for precipitation. We might actually see some precipitation with these fronts that come through versus them drying out. So finally, maybe a change is coming. Now let's take a look at what the GEFS shows. And I'm just going to show you the temperatures over the next, I don't know, we'll say next 7 to 10 days, because I do want to show you. Here's one shot of cold air in the northeast, below average in the southwest, and watch what happens. Another round of above normal temperatures comes by Monday before another shot of cool air. So you can see, this is a faster changing pattern now. It's not like, oh, it's going to be above average for 7 to 10 days in a row. No, we do have these little bits of cool air. Here we go once again on Wednesday, slightly above average temperatures in the west. Then as we head to the second half next weekend, you can see here, yet again, it tries to be slightly near normal or slightly below average in the northeast. We'll go with closer to near normal on this model, but watch what happens. There you go. And this is the signal of the model still saying, hey, late next week, there could be some sort of coastal system, and that would keep the temperatures down. Behind that, watch what happens. It warms up again, but if I took this into the longer range, take a look at this. You're starting to see less above average temperatures nationwide. It does actually start to get closer to near normal, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Finally today, looking at the Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Above average does continue, though, in portions of Texas, straight on up through to the Midwest, Great Lakes, Chicago, St. Louis. It's going to continue, and West Coast below average, as I showed you on the models. And take a look here, 6 to 10 day precipitation. Above average for much of the West Coast, and you do see slightly above average shade for the Northeast. Below average in the Southeast, near normal for portions of Florida. Take a look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. It is still going well above average here, but I think we're going to start to see this scale down in the coming days on these outlooks. We'll see. I mean, there have been times before where it looks like the pattern's going to change and it gets delayed. So we'll see. It's possible things get delayed again, but at some point, I do think we're going to start to see the flip to more near normal temperatures across much of the northern states, which would be a welcome change. And with that, again, could come slightly above average precipitation. Look at this. This is the most green we've seen on the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook map in a very long time. Well above average precipitation across the Central Plains. That's looking likely near normal along the coast, near normal in southern Texas, and for the rest of the country, slightly above to moderately above average precipitation. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Friday weather update. You can follow me over on X at Climate Data Report. You can also follow me on the growing platform Blue Sky, which it is spelled full name, Climate Data Report. If you enjoyed this update, give it a thumbs up. Of course, I'm really one of the only channels that goes into detail about the droughts, low hype. I mean, there's so many other channels out there. They hype up these big storms that are way out there in the long range, or they use one of the climate models, which can go into December and many months out and saying, oh, there's going to be a big storm on such and such day. No, we don't do that. We give you the details on what actually is going to happen with a little glimpse into the future, but we don't focus on any one single storm that's 300 plus hours out. I just don't like doing that. So if you're new here, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, tell them, hey, there's someone out there that's actually giving factual evidence of what is going to happen, and it's low hype. It's not big hype like other channels. And, of course, leave your comments down below. I'll see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching.